Hello. So I'm in my work gear today, and it is Thursday, and it's really sunny outside, which is great. And thank you to everyone who completed the challenge day one. I think it's really surprised quite a few people how many products you've got, and hopefully that information is going to help you with regards to reading your labels as to what you should be keeping and not keeping, and you can make those decisions yourself. So today I'm going to do a little training. Somebody says hi. Don't know who you are, but let me know who you are. Let's pop a little thing on here. Create a banner. Is it good to have fragrance? Fragrance in your, so let me know if you think it's good to have fragrance in your products. So the reason why I wanted to do this today, or is part of the challenge, add banner, there you go, and then you press this little button here, show, there you go, scrolls across the bottom. Oh, I could be on QVC at this rate. Is it good to have fragrance in you? Turn the ring doorbell off. Silent mode. Thank you very much. When I talk about fragrance in products here, I'm talking, and hopefully you might have picked this up over the theme. We're talking here about hair care products, skincare products, makeup products, medical products. It's anything that touches your skin. Okay, so we want to think about the fact that when we think about skin, we always seem to think about this bit. But actually, in France, when they talk about skincare, they go down to the décolletage area, which is below the boobs. And when they moisturise, it's this area here. And here in the UK, is you might, if you're lucky, get a little bit of cream at night popped on this little area here. But we don't realise that this is all over our body. So we need to be thinking about skincare as in a whole body experience here. So try and think a little bit differently about it. When people say they're allergic to fragrance, do they really know what they're allergic to? Anita again, Suzanne's here. That's good. I like fragrance in products. Anita, they're very good to be in products. And Anita is a skincare specialist, so she would know that. And someone's put, I prefer no fragrance, though I don't know who that is. But we did a poll for you to help me with my skincare solutions training that I've created. And on that poll, we had 19 of you take part, and really thank you for that. And 14 of you said unfragranced products are better, and 5 people said fragrance products are better. So I started to think about it, and I did a little bit more research, and I jumped onto somewhere else. I can put their stats in here if you want me to, but they did a poll of 202 people responses. And these were the replies. 202, 107 said, I try my best to avoid it most of the time. 52 said it depends on the product. 28 said, I like fragrance. 15 said, fragrance is a turn off. So that's kind of like the feedback. So there definitely seems to be this trend. That was by a company called JAMA Dermatology. They said that 45% of fragrance-free products still had an allergic potential reaction. So that's a fragrance-free product still has an allergic reaction potential problem. So I think everyone seems to hang their hat on the reaction being it must be the fragrance inside the product, but it's not 100% true. There's a big push at the moment with clean beauty. Now, clean beauty is kind of a really open book, but it's exposing quite a few things. And the thing that's been striving for is transparency in products. Now, this goes back to the labeling that I was talking to you about. I personally list all of my products with the INCI name, which is a worldwide universal description of what a product is. Anita knows all about these. And I also list the English word as well. So on the back of my product, it'll say, now I can't say the words properly, it says grapeseed, which is known as Vitis Vanilla. Anita's going to laugh at me now because she's a specialist on these things. And it'll say apricot kernel, and it says Prunus americana. So I physically list the inky name, which is what you get on a lot of products, which you go, what is that? And I list the English name as well. So I have full transparency on the back of my products, what's inside them. So you might want to Google now inky names and just educate yourself on what is an inky name to help you read labels. And that's on quite a few things, quite a few products, and you'll be able to understand. And then on the back of mine, it says this one, which is my treatment oil number 2. It says no allergens. Now, an allergen is something that basically has been identified as something of an irritant or potentially could be an irritant to you. So on this particular one, that's why I call it an allergen-free product because of that. So going back to my list, if a product also has less than 1%, you don't, in a rough way, there's legislation towards you, but you don't have to necessarily list that ingredient. So say it has like 5 little bits of fragrances in it. It doesn't have to list the individual ingredients. It can just put the word fragrance. So if you know that you're allergic to, let's think of something, peach oil, right? If it says fragrance, you don't know that that product hasn't got it in there. Whereas what I do is I physically list each individual oil on the back of my product. So if it says the word fragrance, you don't actually know which fragrances which are inside there. So these are my little challenges. Can you see them starting to pop up now? I want you to go and look at your products and see, don't forget we're talking hair care, skin care, foot care, medical products in your cupboards. I want you to see if it says the word fragrance, and then you don't actually know what fragrance is in there, so you can't identify the one that you are irritated to. Now, also that's with colorants as well. If it's got a small amount of colorants in, like less than 1%, it can just say the word colorants. And obviously colorants are all individual things, red oxide, for example. You need to know which one of those, especially in cosmetics, which is the colorant that you are irritated to. So this is where clean, green beauty, or, you know, all those type of full transparency are all starting to push. Now, just because a product says natural or green, meaning it's a raw ingredient and hasn't had any chemical process happen to it, then it doesn't necessarily mean you can't be allergic to. So a lot of people say when they talk about organic products, they think therefore they can't be allergic to. Organic means it's not had any process done to it or any chemicals added to it. But you can still have natural products that come out of the earth that you could be allergic to. Okay, so they can still irritate you. So why we don't like fragrance in products. Before I do that, I'm going to show you something. People say they don't like fragrance in products. Just have a look how much stuff. So you go out your way not to buy fragrant skincare. I want to show you something. Let's start off when we were a baby. Okay, Johnson's. Oh, it reminds me of babies. Johnson's baby talc. Guess what? Smells lovely. It's got fragrance in. Yeah, it's okay for babies, right? So just think about this for a bit. What else have we got in here? So we have got a setting spray, Ready, Set, Go makeup setting spray. This is basically a lightweight setting spray that you do this to, spray it all over your face, and it smells divine, and it's one of the reasons why it's so pleasurable to use. It's got ylang ylang in it. So ylang ylang is a fragrance, and yet you might have gone out of your way to buy skincare products without fragrances, but you are actually putting fragrances on. Look at all this kind of thing. So you're focusing on your skincare products, but you're bombarding your homes with so many fragrances. Guess what? Fragrance in it. This is going all over your hands. You're inhaling it. You're touching your face. So for those of you who have sensitive skin, you really need to be addressing what are you actually using, not just in your skincare products. Turn the label over. See if it says a fragrance on the back of it. So you're going to start going through your cupboards now, aren't you? Bit more baby products, baby oil, fragrance in it. Oh yeah, everyday product, fragrance in it. So we are covering ourselves in fragrance every single day. So fragrances aren't a bad thing at all. They are a natural thing. I like fragrance products. I prefer no fragrance. So the person who says prefers no fragrance, do you then go and buy a washing up liquid that has no fragrance in it? Do you buy your cleaning products that you clean your clothes in? Do you like your clothes smelling nice? Well, if you don't like fragrance because it irritates your skin, you should be buying products. So your everyday washing powders also shouldn't have fragrance in as well. So do you see what I mean? We seem to kind of treat skincare on our face different to the rest of the body and the rest of the molecules of fragrance that we're bringing into our home on a daily basis. We're probably exposing ourselves more to these fragrances than what we actually are doing to probably putting a tiny little bit of skincare on. Um, fragrance, fragrance on the back of the label. Fragrance on the back of the label, fragrance on the back of the label, which is your hair care products. So don't forget, these are going. Hi, Christina. Thank you for putting your name in. These products going all over your face when you're in the shower, all down your neck, all onto your chest, your shampoos and your conditioners, unless you're very good and you wash it backwards. Fragrance, a lemon. A lemon is a fragrance. It's an essential oil in there. It's a fragrance. You're exposed to it all the time. I could put, there's tons. I've took loads of products out of the cupboard. I was pulling them all out. Fragrance, 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 fragrance. Loads of fragrances. So wipes, fragrance. So why do we put fragrances in products? Well, that's why. Have you ever smelt shea butter? Have you ever smelt avocado oil? Have you ever smelt rice bran oil? They don't smell very nice. And these are classed as natural products. But I can assure you, these smell more than the perfume that they put inside them. The actual smell of a raw ingredient is really strong. So one of the reasons why manufacturers put essential oils into products is to remove and camouflage the smell of the raw ingredients. Beeswax. Beeswax has a smell to it. You ever smell a beeswax candle? It can smell quite heavy, really. So it's one of the reasons why it's in there. Why we don't like fragrances is, well, basically, we think of them as irritants, but little thing that I was reading there was basically saying that even fragrance-free products can have irritants as well. A trend or a fashion or an attitude because it's trendy to have sensitive skin, and therefore you don't buy products with fragrances in. A history of what your parents did. So basically, if you were brought up not to use fragrance products on your skin, that's possibly why. And it reminds us of something that we don't like. So, for example, lavender is a very typical one, which is in a lot of products, but you may have perhaps had an unhappy school life, and in the garden of the school, there was a lavender bush. And therefore, every time you smelt lavender, it probably reminded you of an unhappy experience. But why we do like fragrances in products is because they are slightly addictive, and companies actually do put oils, fragrances into products like chocolate, all sorts of different things into products because people then become addicted to it, and basically you go back and buying those products. You've got things like reminds us of somebody, so a boyfriend or a dad or a mom or a certain place. You know, you might go to a beautiful hotel and you might say, what's that fragrance? And you go and buy a bottle of it and you spray it all around the house. It's in the atmosphere, it's landing on your skin, so therefore you like that type of thing. The feel good factor, it smells clean. Believe it or not, we can clean with a bar of soap, and then basically you can clean with a bar of soap that is unfragranced and clean with a bar of soap that is fragranced, and somehow our brain says it feels clean because it smells clean. So we associate fragrance with the smell of being clean as well. Luxury, mood changer. Could you imagine going to a spa and walking through the doors of Hall Cross Hall and basically there's no smell? It just wouldn't have the same experience. Anita will tell you, I'll get Anita on here one day. Anita will tell you that smells and essential oils basically are massive mood changers. So when you're putting your skincare on, it's got fragrances in there. They actually physically change the way that you feel and can lift your spirits as well. So I don't know who this is. Natural essential oils fragrances, not synthetic. So not quite sure. I'll come and talk. Yeah, hopefully that's Anita. She's going to come and talk. She's amazing. So what else covers up the smell of the raw product? I want you to go to a shop and I want you to go and smell shea butter if you haven't smelt it already, and smell it and go, shea butter is amazing to moisturize your skin, but I want you to go and put it on raw. I want you to see if you use it. I bet you wouldn't use it. So skin sensitivity is caused normally, but there's other extras, when the hydrolipidic, yeah, it's in me, must be Anita. But she's got hair, it's me. I love essential oils. So if you're on the surface of your skin, you'll hear me talk about this if you've been to my workshops all the time. There's an oil and water film on the surface of the skin. If that's broken down, your skin becomes like a dry riverbed or a dry piece of leather. If you scratch it or if you walk on it, it crumbles, and that natural barrier to protect bacteria, moisture and hydration in the skin is compromised. And therefore, when you put a product on, what would normally be absolutely fine starts to really irritate you. Now, people who have things like rosacea, dermatitis, eczema, and psoriasis, it's something that's happened within the skin that basically, therefore, they're constantly fighting it. Okay, it could be emotional stress, which is where actually essential oils play a really good part because they actually help to reduce those things. But you can also have contact dermatitis, which is actually caused potentially by something like this, that basically is where that product goes, you get the dermatitis in that area, and then it kind of manifests itself and stays. The interesting thing with skin conditions with acne skin is it's kind of a bit of the opposite. If you have acne skin, your skin is actually quite tolerant because there's an overproduction of oil. So if you've got more oil in your skin becomes a little bit more protected. But what happens with people with acne skin is they scrub it to death, and then basically they strip away all that oil, which is amazing stuff, and then they expose themselves. They put their skin into basically a compromised state. They've lost their hydrolipidic film. So now they've not only got an overproduction of oil, they've stripped away all the oil, and now they've got an oily, spotty skin that is hypersensitive. And when it gets into that condition, it's very, very, very uncomfortable. I had that and I learned from it, which is why I'm talking to you guys and telling you what to do. Now, there's strict regulations about how much fragrance that you can put inside products. So don't think here that cosmetic companies, skincare companies, cleaning companies come along and think, oh, we'll just whack a little bit of lemon in there. The strict levels that people know people can tolerate. Where it all goes wrong is you go and buy, let's say mine. Not that one, because it's allergen free. Not that one, because it's allergen free. Let me pull one out of my box. You go and buy my number 2. My number 2 oil has neroli, geranium, and sweet orange in it. And I know this has been safety assessed. Use this product on your skin and you're absolutely fine with it. But you then go and buy another brand or talk to someone else and they sell you a night cream that you're going to put on top of this that's also got some neroli and sweet orange in it. What you've then done is taken my safety assessment and thrown it out the window, because what you've done is you've put my percentage of cream on and you've put some other cream on top of it. Now you've overloaded your skin and you've gone past the skin sensitivity. So don't put other brand products on top of your skin. If you've got sensitivity in your skin, you're better off sticking to one brand and making sure that they're all tested. Or, I know I keep plugging it, but it is a fantastic product. My allergen free number 1 oil, you can use with absolutely everything. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes here thinking, have I said all that already? There's different types of molecules. There's natural and the synthetic, which are generally mixed together And therefore, you can't tell inside a product which is the thing that you're allergic to. And this is in so many things. So that's where it's best to buy a product that's transparent about what products are in there. If you can smell a product after you've left it on or used it, i.e., you can still smell it in your room, the molecules are still there. Okay. So the argument is people say, well, you're all right using that because it's perfumed because you're going to wash it off. Smell your hands afterwards. If you can still smell it, the molecules are still on your hand because when you can smell the molecules are still there. So it's still the same if it's a wash on product or not. So my little challenge to you today is I hope that's kind of made you think a little bit different about buying skincare that's fragrance free. Is fine, go do it. But I want you to really ask yourself the question: are you really being fair to yourself? Because you're buying fragrance free skincare, but you've basically got all of these products in your house that you're loading yourself with on a daily basis. So is it the skincare that's irritating you, or have you got fragrance overload already? Obviously, there's bottles of fragrance as well. So my challenge to you on day 2: learn about reading labels, what you put on your skin, find out if you can work out the things that you get allergic or irritated from them, and be aware of the things that you're exposing yourself to. So go and find some products in your kitchen cabinet, in your medical cabinet, in your cosmetic bag, in your skincare bag, and have a look and see if they've got fragrance or not, because you might find it's got fragrance in there. It's not selling it as a perfume product, but it's got fragrance in there just to cover up the raw ingredients. So it doesn't really smell anything. It's just there just to camouflage. I'd love you to share your pictures again. Thank you to the ones that sent in pictures. I think we'll all look at them and think. I think the suntan cream from my telling you about when you should keep things, your best before dates from yesterday that I did, has really raised some questions. These have also have expiry dates on and things. So be careful with your 3 for 2s and when you're buying stuff like this. The product deteriorates as it goes on. Suzanne says, my daughter's skin is like that, acne, but sensitive. Yes, so we can easily get away the sensitivity. So we need to hydrate the skin first of all with acne skin. Then we can deal with the acne. You do not deal with acne with stripping away the oils. You will actually not. That will not happen at all. You will actually end up with a massively complicated, dry, dehydrated, sensitive, and there's nothing worse than having spots that are dry on the surface. So go and raid your cupboards. I want you to find products. Yesterday you did expiry dates. Have a look at the same products if you've got them to hand. And I want you to see which products have got fragrances in and tell me if that's really surprised you. And what have I got to give you? I forgot to bring it upstairs. I'm going to give you, what does she say? It's not that I don't like avoiding buying fragrance. If possible, if anything, I'd have a choice. It's not that I don't like buying fragrance. If possible, in anything, I'd have a choice. That me. I tried to kind of like get my head around that. But as far as your products are concerned, look after yourself. Oh, that's it. What am I going to give you? Put a picture in of a product. Take a picture of a product so we can obviously help each other and say, did you realise this contained fragrance? This was the thing that did it for me. It's obvious it's got fragrance in, but you think a baby's product. Take a picture of a label, whack it onto the Facebook group, write it down, do whatever you want. Let's share it. Let's tell everybody about this. And for the person who helps me out here and helps everyone else out, I'm going to give you an Esther Marie candle. So really big, chunky Esther Marie candle, fragrance with number 2 in there. So you can put your fragrance in your house, but you can do it in a really nice way. I hope that is helping you. A few little messages here that have popped up. Prefer fragrance and different ones, and have a go at it. I'll see you all soon tomorrow. I'm going to pull it all together because I'm going to talk to you about how to test your products so you know if you're sensitive to them. Look forward to it. See you soon. Bye.